Up to Bamford. Oh, hey, everybody. Welcome to Dumb Investing. That fellow over there is Harry.
That guy, that's Lloyd's about to get dumb up in here, and we're going to cruise a little bit past Banff.
Oh, yeah. All right. So, welcome to the Dumbest Investing Show on all YouTubes. On tonight's show, you can expect us to roll some random dice, pick some random stocks, do a very shallow dive onto three of those, and we're going to decide which one of those three we're going to go invest our hard-earned retirement money into. We're going to then review a portfolio that was built by rolling random dice and picking random stocks. And we just so happened to do just enough homework that we're kicking Wall Street's butt by rolling random dice and picking random stocks. So that's what we got going on. Mr. Ticker, I would like to congratulate you on something.
Oh, yeah?
Today is our 100th.
I know what it is.
Our 100th episode.
100 episodes.
100 episodes. So high five. Bam.
Jeez, I don't know.
Don't leave me hanging. Okay, there we go. High five. Right on. All right. So should we go find some stocks?
Let's do that.
Let's do that. All right. We're going to go out here, random.org. We roll random dice because we don't.
You got to share your screen, sir.
Oh, my gosh. I got all. It's late. Oh, what am I doing? I don't want to share that.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
be careful.
Yeah. I don't have any video files to share. I need to make one of the pools so everybody can see that it's still not done. Been not done for a long time. All right. We're rolling some random dice here. We are rolling a 5. All right. So we're going out to a random stock picker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Dow. Huh. All right. Second stock we're going to look at tonight. Roll a random dice. And it says click it once. We click this guy once. PNTM. All right. Back to the dice. One last roll of the night. And we get a 3. We click this 1, 2, 3 times. EAOM. All right. So Harry is going to be using Webull, which is our trading platform. You click the link down below. Deposit $100. They're going to give you 2 free stocks. I'm going to go out to the Yahoo. And we're going to try to learn a little bit something about some stocks here. So our first one, EAOM, is iShares Trust. ESG Aware Moderate Allocation ETF. That is a lot of words.
And I don't have any information on them. All I know is, let's see here.
I'm going to say nothing. No. Their volume is 16.
Woo!
So yeah, we're not going to go any further with that.
I mean, we can move that market.
We could totally move that market. PNTM is our next, and it's the Pontum Corporation.
All right. What do they do? So blank check.
I don't know.
Next.
Uh-oh. EDOW. This may be a quick night. All right. First Trust Dow 30 Equal Weight ETF. All right. They've been around for a few years. They have a wicked peak going on right now. Pre-COVID, they were at 26. They hit the COVID just like everybody else did, and they came out of it just raring to go. They're at 3107. Quite possibly a peak.
Yes.
Yeah. I see a 3134, so 30 cents higher, 1%. That's nothing. So who are these guys? This investment seeks investment results that correspond generally to the price and yield of an equity index called the Dow Jones Industrial Average Equal Weight Index. Well, we already know we're kicking that ass, right? We're kicking Dow Jones by 3x. So why would we want to go into one that's just tracking it when our others are doing 3x? So I say tonight's a loser. Agreed. They all suckety suck.
All right. Well, I have some thoughts on that, and I will go through them when I share our portfolio over here.
All right. Well, with that, we are probably not going to choose any of the 3 that we've picked tonight. So what we will probably do is we will probably end up discussing current ones. If we see something running that's crazy, we may jump in. That follows the gist of the channel here, which is we only pick random stocks that are picked with random dice and stuff like that. So if we've already done it once, we have no problem doubling up. We made a little bit of money in BurgerFi doing that. We made a little bit of money in some of the other guys by doubling up. So that's what we may end up doing.
All right.
You want to take us on a trip down portfolio lane?
Okay, so portfolio lane, nothing looks really good today.
That looks just like my personal. Everything was red except for one stock today.
Yeah, everything today kind of. Crypto started the sell-off yesterday and bounced back. The stock market followed suit today. It has not yet bounced back.
Well, crypto only bounced back like halfway, right? Because Bitcoin like dropped 6 and came back 3 or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. So the overall market sentiment today, everyone was pretty negative. There wasn't a whole lot of happiness over in the market. And I think people are sitting there again, taking another breather about, waiting for CPI to come in. People are concerned that CPI is going to be down and miss substantially. So it adds a whole lot of confusion to the market when for the last 6 to 8 months, all we've been talking about is inflation. What's going to happen when there is no more inflation, according to the CPI, and we continue to print money? Is that going to be good? Is it bad? Is the Fed's going to still taper, even though that inflation is inflecting to the downside? We don't know. That's the rest of the market. The market doesn't know.
But we've been printing money since 2008. What are another couple of months? I mean, who cares?
No, that's not necessarily true. We printed money. There were quantitative easing, so the money printer started in 2008, but it did subside. The QE did subside throughout the years, and only since COVID they've restarted the money printer.
Oh, it actually stopped for a while? Because I thought they just tuned her down a little bit.
No, I believe it stopped for a while.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I just know it's so much money.
2008 to 2014, I think they kind of printed, but after that.
So 14 to 20 was kind of a hiatus.
Yeah, more of a normal.
Had to install some bearings in that sucker because they knew they were going to run her again.
No kidding. More of a normal fiat currency that is supposed to follow gold, but it doesn't. That's why it's called fiat, because it doesn't anymore.
Completely made up.
Completely. All right. So what we've got going on in the portfolio today is, as we talked about, nothing is good today. So look at
that
this.
One's really not good.
This is the
what a
Brazil
change one day
bull.
can make.
Yeah. So this Brazil bull is down 11.24% today.
Wow.
That is quite the slide. And I got to tell you, I love the volatility of this thing just because it's super exciting. Like we can be up 20% one day and down 15% the next day. It is just so much fun.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I'm not going to hint. I'm just going to state that I think we should buy this dip.
I'm all in.
All right. So
what is that one?
That is BRZU.
Yeah.
ZU, yeah.
BRZU. All right. I'm cool with that.
The next one our next biggest loser was Butterfly. So this is our
relatively new.
Yes, relatively new, and our what do you call them? The scanning company. They do body scan stuff, mobile or ultrasound stuff.
I don't know. We're going to have a lot of stuff here. We're going to forget what some of this stuff is. It's going to be awesome.
No. We won't forget. No.
I will. Remember, I'm the old man here.
It's totally fine. I'll remember some of it.
I love it.
Most of some of it I'll remember for sure. And then Ideanomics was down today too. So that was down 4.7%. Zillow down 3.91%. So the market overall just took an absolute beating today. It wasn't. Man,
I think we should double down on like 3 of these. Man,
I think it's a good opportunity to buy.
I do too.
Like, I don't see any reason why we wouldn't go in and buy
I wish I had
more of them.
more personal money to buy the
Yeah.
dip too.
Yeah, especially in some of these big movers to the downside.
Well, we need to keep the show going, so we're not going to do that as much as we would love to. We
Yeah.
sold enough of our stock that if we do this 4 days a week, we can sustain for a year before we have to start selling again. So
Yeah.
we will double up on BRZU tomorrow.
Right.
Hopefully, we get it before she starts climbing again.
Yeah. On the winner's circle here, we've got On Assignment up 0.65% today.
Hey, it's up. It's green.
And Worry Bank was up 0.99% today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So
you can't complain too much, hey?
no.
And yeah, this is going
So
down.
they might regain their first place again, huh? In the portfolio.
Oh, might they? And did they ever? What are the overall portfolio today? We lost a few bucks. We don't have a whole ton of money in the market. We've got $300 in there, or somewhere in that realm. So, a little bit relatively, we lost a fair amount in percentage, but overall, a few.
But
bucks.
the market itself was down also, so
Absolutely, yeah,
I think we're fine.
yeah. Tech kind of poo-pooed today. All right, on the overall portfolio, we've got, as you said, Worry Bank leading the way, up 4.81%. We've got on Assignment up 4% overall. And then, wow, what a difference a day makes. We've got Tompkins Financial, which was our biggest loser yesterday.
Yeah.
And I think our only red position yesterday. We now have many red positions. And Tompkins is down 4.79%, and the Brazil Bull is down 9.49%. So what a difference a day makes.
No kidding. But hey, in the grand scheme of things, we're only down $60 still. So we had made some poor choices as we started the channel. We picked on days sometimes when we shouldn't have, where we didn't play the double up card, and we had 3 lousy picks, and so we tried to pick the least lousy, and it was still horrible. So yeah, I think I'm pretty excited about where we are.
Me too.
Pretty excited to double up on something that's down 9% right
now.
Yeah. So what else going on in the world?
Oh man, the world's nuts right now. From what I saw, I mean, people from the market perspective, there was just, I don't want to say old news, but like just continuation of Delta fears were the excuse of why the market sell off. I think the market is just so, I don't want to say fragile, but it's so fearful of anything. Anything goes slightly sideways and it's just major sell off. Boom, straight down, everything. It's just crazy. So I think crypto was probably the catalyst for this market. I think people were fearful of, everybody could do what they did to crypto. A major sell-off happens in crypto. The same thing could happen in the stock market. A major whale, as they were talking about yesterday. So a whale is a someone that owns in crypto land a ton of crypto, a lot, and they have a huge amount of it. So if they go and they decide to sell, that has a big impact onto the overall market. But there's all kinds of hedge funds that could move the stock market just as much if they wanted to.
Yeah, I think what yesterday did is kind of woke some people up. I think that they realized, one whale affected a lot of algorithms. And I think people are kind of like, oh, that's the world we live in today. And it kind of woke people up. So I think maybe some people pulled some money out so they could wait and see what's going on. And the Bloomberg guys this morning had on a real interesting guest, and I forget who he was, some global manager guy, right? And he was talking about how it's their belief that the market has already compensated for tapering, that even though the Feds didn't talk about tapering, they knew tapering was on the agenda. And so people have been saying, look, we know it's going to happen. It has to. It's just kind of a game, but it's not going to be in the next 6 months. It's going to be 6 to 9 months. So
See,
people
I
said, okay,
disagree.
cool.
I think taper is going to happen. And I think it's going to happen in October.
Well, these guys think it's going to happen, but they're saying they were thinking it was going to be in 6 months.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen in October. I think the Fed they've overshot their runway. The economy's running hotter than they thought. Listen, at the end of the day, there's 10.2 million jobs available in the US and 8.2 million people out of work. So there's 1.25 or 1.24 jobs for every person that's looking for one.
Yep.
So if they can't find one, they don't want to work that hard. So I think the Fed has achieved their full employment mandate. And now they have to make sure that they're mandated to be fiscally responsible and ensure that inflation doesn't run rampant. And I'm going to guess that come next week, and when we see CPI data later this week, and come next week when we hear from the Fed, they're going to start talking about, we reached our goals. Now we need to start tapering. And I think they'll just do it slowly. I think, they might be 20 billion a month only.
I know. Isn't that hilarious that we actually talk that way?
Yeah. So only 20 billion, or maybe it's 10. I have no idea. But instead of printing 120 billion, maybe they only print 100 billion, and then 80, and then 60, and then 40. And then 6 months down the road, we're not printing any more money anymore. Then we can start looking at potentially moving interest rates to slow down the inflation, if there is inflation at that point.
Yeah. So, yeah.
We'll see.
I think it's a good buying opportunity. I wish I had more cash. And maybe that's a lesson that we should keep some powder dry, like the old timers used to say, in case there's a dip opportunity.
Absolutely. Yeah. In my personal portfolio, I've been selling a few things along the way, had some cash, bought some, at least what I perceive to be good deals. So yeah,
sweet.
I'm looking forward to holding out for a few months and see how this goes. But I think the next September, October, November could be good.
I might have to dip into the old rental down payment fund and do some buy the dip stuff and see what happens.
You should probably use that cash, because
I know it's been sitting in a bank for 2 years and I think I've made 12 cents on it.
I mean, listen,
it's disgusting.
You could, in theory, invest that cash and then take margin out against that cash in your investments if you needed to buy a rental. Found the right deal.
That's pretty scary what you just said right there. That scares the hell out of me.
That is leverage.
Yeah, that is Picker doesn't sleep at night.
The stocks go down too far and there is no more sleeping.
Yeah. So speaking of that, there is a hypothesis out there about the cyber crash and why it didn't come back all the way. There's a belief that there were a lot of people who were holding cryptos with margin.
Crypto crash.
Yeah. So when the crash in crypto happened, it hit a lot of people. They got margin calls, which means their positions were immediately liquidated.
Yeah.
And that they didn't have enough money to buy back in as the price bounced back. That's why it only bounced back halfway. There's some talk that somewhere somebody can get in there and see how much margin there is, and the margin has disappeared in crypto. Yeah. So that was all new to me, because I don't come from a world where I've used margin much in the past.
Now, and if that happens, then if that's all true cash, it'd be interesting to see what the average cost is. I've heard somewhere along the way there's a very big support line for Bitcoin on the realm of, I think, $37,000. I'm just spouting out numbers, but let's just pretend it's $37,000.
Okay.
So there's a lot of people that own Bitcoin, or the entire market is averaged in at 37,000. So the support should not fall below $37,000. So we should never see Bitcoin go below 37. Now, can it? Absolutely. Of course it can. But there should be a fair amount of support at those levels.
Cool.
Yeah. So, and you know what? I'm going to throw a curveball at you right now.
Oh, okay.
Next week. So, actually, no. Tomorrow, Ticker is not around.
All right. I will run solo.
But next week, what I would like to do is a somewhere between a 3 to 5 minute, I don't want to call them a lesson, but let's call them an informational session.
Okay.
And I want to start talking about the basics of money and finance and investing.
Okay.
So I want to start talking about, the do's and don'ts of investing, the do's and don'ts of credit, the do's and don'ts of cash, etc., etc. But
sounds good.
Definitely not financial advice, solely our opinions. And just because we're just some dummies on YouTube, so don't do what we do. We just like to talk and entertain.
For sure.
Yeah. And whatever you do. Oh, we haven't said this in a little while. So please, if you like what you're watching, subscribe. Hit the bell if you want to see us when we go live. You can get a little reminder. But subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, your dogs, your kids, your cats, all those kind of things. Anybody that can watch the screen, just set them up an account. We can be Doggy the Doge or whatever, and he can watch us. And don't trade like that guy.
Yeah, don't trade like that guy. Have a great night, everybody.
Good night.